I'll be heard.
We'll find out soon.
Should I do an introduction?
Yeah, I'd do an introduction now. To start, alright.
I just got the invite.
And oh, there you go.
Okay, I'll do the intro.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen.
4, 3, 2, 1. We are live!
At New York, Madison Square Garden.
Alright, so...
This is Aussie Game Rant.
Go for it, buddy.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you're joined by JimmyD and D0ubleT4p as JimmyD plays some Star Wars Battlefront on the PS4. Doing a little bit of a live stream. Jump on live. Tell us what your impressions of the game are. JimmyD, take it away.
Alright, so... It's not actually my game. My mother-in-law bought it and was kind enough to allow me to live stream it first. So she she actually hasn't played this yet. So this is the first time in the household where it's actually getting played. So yeah, let's jump into something. We'll just go blast, which is basically team deathmatch.
Beautiful. I'm looking forward to seeing how this compares to the beta, because we were not that impressed with the bloody beta.
No, see, I found it quite average. So, I mean, different maps. This one, I had a slight play while we're getting our shit organised. And this map is a lot harder to see the Imperials. Not the Imperials, the Rebels. So it's a woodland style one. So kind of like where you would see the speeder bikes and stuff.
Yeah, that famous scene.
Yep. So I copped Imperial, lovely. So now I'm going to be bright white in a green area.
See, I think you get screwed over being Imperial on almost anything in this game. It's ridiculous, but I suppose they designed it like that to represent the real battles that occurred, the real situation. Well, not real because it's all fantasy, but the real lore behind it all.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, I got one. Haha. Good start. Let's do this. Oh, glitchy. Not glitchy. My connection is amazing. Good old Australian internet. Woo!
The ping of an outback ostrich.
Whoop, where he? I got one. Oh, dang it. So, you can see that, like, if anyone's watching this, you can actually see that the Rebels are in green. So they've got, like, woodland camo. And poor old Imperials wear bright white. This map seems a lot smaller than the other map, like the Hoth map and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think the different sizes are pretty important to what they've got going with the Star Wars game. I mean, from the beta, what did we play? The really small map, and then on the Hoth, which was their large scale map. Yeah. So obviously this one somewhere in between.
Yeah, exactly. This one's basically just their team deathmatch. So nothing special. There's like not many, I should say, like places to hide.
Yeah, which that's fine. It means it'll be a quicker match.
Yeah.
But I find that frustrating. I like a little bit more camouflage. But hey, you can't have it all in every match.
So I mean, and then you've got like in Hoth, the Imperials have kind of Jesus. This lag is terrible. Oh well, that'll explain it. My Destiny just updated.
Yeah, my Destiny had an update too.
Yeah.
The game that just keeps on giving a nice kick in the
arse. That's better. That's better.
Well, you got better ping now.
Well, kind of. It's still jumpy as fuck.
Yeah. Well,
bad connection to the server. This will affect your game. No shit, EA. No shit.
Well done.
So I thought, we'll give it a try, see what's going on, see how this stacks up to the beta. My fiance's mum is a big Star Wars fan, hence the reason why she got it. But yeah, and I was like, I want to see how this stacks up compared to the original. Like the beta that we played, and like from what you said, we weren't really that impressed with the beta. In saying that, we did enjoy the time we had on this game, but it was just, we just weren't as thrilled as what I originally was. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, a new Battlefront. Sorry.
See? Now I'm not the only one who's doing it.
Battlefront is, was one of my favourite games back on the PlayStation 2. And this was a bit of a disappointment, especially considering the lead up and the hype that it had.
Yeah, for sure.
It just seemed pretty average. It just seemed like your run-of-the-mill shooter. And
that's exactly what it is. The Star Wars skin.
Over it. God dang it.
We'll put a link in the description. Go check out our podcast review of the beta. You'll get some interesting thoughts there from all of the panel here at Aussie Game Rants.
Yeah.
I was far from impressed, and I'm very harsh on a lot of games, and I'm very, very harsh on some.
It's good to be it's good to be critical though. God, for freak's sakes.
Always I'm not saying it's a bad game. It was certainly a good game, but I don't think it's what they advertised.
Yeah, for the hype that they had, it was just.
Exactly.
It's one of those things that I'm like, it's okay. It's no Fallout in my opinion to me. Like Fallout to me is, I was just like, you've got a different opinion, don't you dare say it, you son of a bitch, because your opinion doesn't matter. But like in Fallout, in Fallout, I am absolutely loving that game. Like I go back to it constantly. My fiance misses me because I'm playing it too much.
That's true.
But
it certainly, I will agree, it certainly isn't of the scale that Fallout is. Even me, who's not a Bethesda fan, I bought Fallout. But Star Wars, the reason why I was comparing it to Fallout, even though it's a completely different game, is because of the launch window it chose. It chose to compete against Fallout.
Yeah, exactly.
It also chose to compete against Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
That's a silly idea to go up against. Like, I mean, Battlefield. See, now I'm doing what you did back in the review. Battlefield did the same mistake with Battlefield 4 and what was it? I think it was Advanced Warfare. No, it was Hardline and Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, it's a silly thing to do while you're compete with games that you know you'll never be able to beat.
They've got 90% of the world's. I mean, I'm exaggerating. Statistics aren't exactly accurate, but like they've got well over half of the majority of people buying that game on release and playing it more than any other game for a multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly.
With this being with this being a semi new IP, we'll call it a renewed IP. That's probably a good idea. With it being a renewed IP, it's just we wanted a Star Wars game, but we wanted a story. We didn't want a multiplayer. Well, really.
Let me break it down for you. The trailer for Star Wars 1313.
Oh, that game, so disappointing. Disappointed that's not coming out.
They cut it out. I know. It's the one game I lost my shit for.
And the funny thing is, it had nothing to do with the Jedi. Now, I know, it's like, you need to have Jedi in your game and stuff, but it was such a good kind of story for it that it was, match finished. Okay, that finishes abruptly, rather than giving us something like the Hoth match. What was I on about? I was on about with 1313, it was a huge story game, and it was story focused, whereas this, it's just multiplayer, and squad-based combat, which, we have so many of those coming out within the next couple of months. We've got, within now and next year, we've got this one, we've got The Division, we've got the new Tom Clancy Ghost Recon that's coming out, we've got I'm sure we'll have another Call of Duty in 6 months. I mean, it's usually the way it is. You've got Battlefield Hardlines coming out with new content. You've got all this other stuff, and this one's like in between. It's just, I don't know how to take it.
Just to stop you there, can you invite special guest Shogsy23 to the audio?
I certainly can. I dare say that the microphones will still be going, but the video will stop when I go out of it.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, no, that's not him. That's him. Oh, I don't know about sweet.
I don't know. It's not a bad game. It's very, very.
Yeah. Let me just double check I haven't got anything else bloody downloading. Hello. Yes,
Thanks
I'll quit
for the
that.
invitation, guys.
No worries. It's So it's to bring you up to speed. Shogsy, the fiance, my in-law, bought Battlefront. I'm the first one to play it in the whole place, so we're just kind of sitting and seeing what we've got. Let's, you know what?
Lovely.
Let's do some skyfighting, dogfights. Let's do one of them.
Dogfighting. To show my complete and utter ignorance there, Jimmy, when was this released in Australia?
Today, actually. Yeah, today.
Okay, so launch day, that's great. It's great. I wasn't aware of it because, to be honest, don't really care about much that's coming out at the tail end of this year. In fact, I've got, I think Mario Tennis coming out on Saturday, and I think I'm probably even not going to go and buy that. I'm quite disappointed.
See,
if anyone's watched any of the reviews.
I'm starting to see a trend as well of companies bringing back old IPs.
And doing a shit job of it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just not doing...
Like Fallout 4.
Don't...
Yeah. doing a regular Nintendo, it's like, hey, we've got this old title. Let's remake it for the 30th time.
It's exactly that. It's doing a real Nintendo.
Granted, at least Nintendo has decided to, you know... Oh, wow.
What, even playing there?
Yes. Now I've got to remember how to get... no quick time events, but wow, my lag is fantastic.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Probably because you're streaming.
Is that 3 frames a second, maybe 4?
Lock onto target.
Yep.
Oh, it seems to be running okay now.
Okay. Yep. That classic load-in lag.
We're not playing Rocket League. Which reminds me, has everyone seen the trailer?
Which trailer is that?
New DLC for Rocket League, December 2015, Wasteland. Super keen.
I have not seen the trailer, no. I will
Neutralize that transport ship.
finished up here.
Once we're done here, yeah.
So I was watching not exactly a stream, but it was more of like an insight into like the different things and the advantages that some of the I don't even know what to call them, spaceships. Like the type, like for example, the X-wings and the Rebels ships. They have they just have more.
Je ne sais quoi.
Not just that, they seem to be able to, like, from what I saw, the A-wings, the X-wings and all that stuff, they have a better defense. Like the TIE fighters and the interceptors, they have a very low defense. So in the space fights and the air fights, dog fights and all that stuff, playing as a Imperial, you're at a severe disadvantage compared to those guys.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I saw it. I'll try and find out and then link it later on. But yeah, they were just like explaining some of the things, like what we touched on beforehand with the
Camouflage.
yeah, the camouflage. Thank you. Concentration is
So you're playing the game, man. Yeah.
yeah. The camouflage with like Imperials versus Rebels in certain aspects of the game.
Exactly. It's definitely a defect that they didn't consider.
And they're like
Well, maybe they did.
it's unbalanced. Like there's certain parts that are unbalanced. For example, the TIE fighters and the interceptors versus
Rebels incoming.
Moving into position.
what do they call them? The X-wings and stuff. The other ships, rebel ships.
Yeah.
You're at a severe disadvantage as an Imperial because they have a higher defense or higher armor, or they've got more weapons or something. And it's just
jump into a game on Hoth, and it's almost impossible to win as the Rebels.
yeah, unless they've fixed it since then. From what I've seen,
I
the
highly
patches.
doubt it.
From what I've seen, the patches are only just matchmaking patches.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
would
just
imagine they're doing anything terribly substantial.
yeah, exactly. Well, I did great on that one. I got a whole of 150 points. Oh, 650! I am a legend. But yeah, it's just. It seems like it was supposed to be a better game. I mean, even Battlefront 2 on the original had more of a story than this. I don't want to slag it too much because it is a decent game. It's not terrible. There are worse out there, especially when it comes to the first-person shooter genre. There are some doozies. But for a AAA title, it looks pretty, it sounds pretty, and all of that. But it's not 100%.
Yeah,
Look,
bit of a shame.
I think they knew that coming into it.
Round-based combat with mix of teams of heroes and infantry. Yes, let's do heroes versus villains. Let's see if you can just be all the heroes. If they've got that, they've won me. Because that was one of my favourite things
I
to
want to see Leia versus Darth Vader. You know what? No, stuff that. I want to see sexy Leia.
Yeah,
Darth
slave Leia. If they do not have a slave
Leia
Leia, if they don't have a slave Leia costume.
They
The
don't.
cus-
This is
Dad, this is
discontinued.
your fault.
So the customization, I had a quick look before I started the live stream. The customization is basically just heads. Nothing to do with the costume itself. There are two different costumes.
Two different costumes.
Yep. Granted,
Oh,
one.
okay.
Okay. Granted, one of them is the black Imperial costume, and I was like,
Which Black Imperial costume is that?
become a hero bodyguard. Let's do it. I can't remember what they're called, but it's basically an all-black costume. I'll have a look at it in a second. Why is that up? Why is that stuck on my screen? Oh, fantastic. How am I supposed to see shit?
Oh, you don't see. Stop the bad.
I know. Jesus, so dramatic, Jim.
What's the name of it?
Where's the Yeti key? Where's the Yeti key? Kataro. Going to go on a Simpsons tangent where I just quote everything basically.
Okay, that's fantastic. No, I've got... Die. I can't see you, but I'm
Yeah.
going to kill you.
The stream's delayed there, Shobsy.
Oh, right, of course it is. Of course.
By,
2 seconds?
about
3 seconds?
Yeah, about
I
that.
think it's mine.
So, for anyone who is watching this, you are watching it at the same time as DoubleTap and Shogsy. I'm a bit more
I'm not
live
watching.
than everyone else. But yeah, it's
I
just...
got no fucking idea what's going on.
Okay, so no, I don't want to play that because that was terrible. Where's the biggest match I could do?
The Walker Assault, wouldn't it?
That one and Supremacy.
What's Supremacy? Tell the fans at home.
We'll find out in a second because I know about just about as much as you do. So it is a 20v20. So use every means necessary to push the enemy back. Capture. Oh, it's a control. So capture the capture the points.
Yep.
There'll be a set of points. You got to capture, defend, and yeah.
To be interesting.
We'll see how it goes.
Good old Anakin's homeworld from the looks of it.
No, it's Junland. Junland Wastes.
Okay.
So I have not put on the other map, the early access map, which is from the new Star Wars.
That's for
yeah, kind of don't want to. Yeah, that, and I kind of don't want to, spoil it for myself. I don't want to know what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I'll play the basics. Hey, hello. Ah, dang it.
Get good.
Yeah, I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
That no one in the world.
See a lot of shooting, don't see a lot of people.
First.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I win! I bet him! Ah!
Nicely done.
But yeah, it's just... It does look nice, even like the other maps that aren't in the... what do they call it? The beta?
Yeah.
I thought
They all look beautiful.
everyone's seen the beta. Everyone who owns a PlayStation or an Xbox has played the beta. Let's have a look at something different. Well, those people clearly don't like Star Wars.
Apparently they didn't know the game was coming out.
How do you not know that it's not coming out? I understand not knowing when the release date was because Fallout was out, and that took most of my life.
Yeah, sure.
I'm almost 45 hours so far. That one.
Yeah, I'm close to...
45 hours? I've played like 8.
That's because you're a
It
nub.
might only be 40. It might only be 40, but it's definitely over.
You're psycho.
No, it's just you're bad and you need to get good. That's all it is.
No, I think it's the other way around. Have a good taste in games.
I just finished the 3rd mission.
Yeah, I've done the same
so
thing.
I'm ahead of you in the story.
Oh, yeah. No, I've done the mission where you go to the fort.
Bit of off topic a bit off topic from
Come on,
the game that I'm playing. I have got the worst stutter today. Porky Pig right here.
I don't think it is off topic though. They were launched in the same window, and
Yeah.
one of them is a better game, and that's not Star Wars Battlefront. The other one's still not a great game. Christmas 2015 is ruined.
You're just bad because you want a new Sonic game, and Sonic's a terrible game.
Shut your face, bitch! I know where you live.
He's a terrible character.
You're fucking dead. I'm getting in my car.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. Sega needs to bury Sonic and never bring it back out again.
You know what? Bethesda sucks, doodle, just like you. And Ronda Rousey sucks.
Oh, she kind of does at the moment, but
At the moment, I feel bad for her, man. I feel bad. We were there.
Melbourne hospitals are fixing their face so you can still be pretty.
I just feel for
look,
her, you know?
I will console her. It's fine. Look, if she needs someone to look after her, I'm there.
lie next to her, stroke her face, and go,
I'm sure the fiance would appreciate hearing that, James.
who's she engaged to?
No. His.
Oh, I thought it was, okay, I was like, I want to see that man far out. It'd be a beast.
He's black and blue.
Death by snooze.
Hey, look, put it this way, man. If she said, you need to be home by this time, you are sure as hell going to make sure that you are home by that time.
Early.
You'd be home 20 minutes before and
early with dinner made.
We got rebels in the area.
What time do you finish work? 5:30. What time are you going to be home to make them? That's 5 o'clock. Don't worry. It's going to go good. It's really no life you want to make them.
I win.
Working if she has millions.
Half the time somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would pass the
Death by
time
snooze.
exactly. I would pass the time exactly how I pass the time now with video games.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point.
I would have
just
more
feel bad
time
for
to
you.
play Fallout. I would have more time to slag this game off.
No one needs more time to play Fallout. It already takes
I
enough
also have a game that we need to review, and this is on a special request from my mother-in-law. It's you know, it's you know how we did the Frozen game, yeah, and we did a terrible game. It's time for us. I think it's high time we did another bad game. I'm gonna go as far and say that she has a Snoopy game. That old comic book. Ooh, who is that? Who is that guy? Oh, you can play as the Emperor. That's cool.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
Seriously?
Oh, and
Yeah,
then
Emperor, what's his
Palpatine.
name? Palpatine. Emperor Palpatine.
Dooku, you son of a
I was
bitch.
thinking Count Dooku. I don't know what's going on. What happens after a long day of paper pushing?
Okay, so Emperor Palpatine just showing up at the moment on the live stream.
Yeah, so he's actually a really interesting character. Let's talk about him for a moment. So in the game, what they've done is they've made him appear as if he's a really frail old man. But one of his moves is that he can travel really, really quick, and that's obviously a force move. So he can actually still be really quick and deadly.
Also, he also has the ability to have 2 extra people, bodyguards, as I should say. He
Yeah.
doesn't use a lightsaber, as far as I could see.
No, he uses his light metal.
So, like, as in the movies, he doesn't use. I think in the originals, he doesn't use his lightsaber, but in the newer 1, 2, and 3, he does against Yoda. And his
Dooku or...
no, this is Palpatine. It was either him or it was against Mace Windu. Mace Windu. Snakes in a plane. One of those two. He actually uses his lightsaber.
Yeah, there is one. I don't
One
remember,
occasion.
but yeah.
One occasion. And yeah, it was just.
Capturing a control point.
He seems like an interesting character. I like the fact that they haven't they've got different types. It's not just all lightsaber wielding characters or
Yeah,
blaster
that maybe
characters.
included Leia.
Oh, I haven't come across a Leia yet.
I'm gonna get hurt for this bad if anyone listens, but she's a novelty. Now the reason why she's a novelty is because there's only 2 main female characters in the Star Wars universe.
Look,
excluding the coming up film. And so they
She
had to
is,
include her in
yeah. Look, to be honest, Leia has and always has been a fan service.
Yeah, well, exactly. And it breaks your heart, but
There was that female rebel general.
yes, I know. As I said, she's one of 2 main female characters.
3. If you're going to go that far, you've got whatever her name is from the first 3. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I try to zone those games. I try to zone those movies out of my mind.
Natalie Portman.
For shame. Natalie Portman is a terrible actor.
Wow. I think she's a fine actor.
Yeah, she's occasionally given shit roles, but she's generally a pretty good actor.
I know. Have you seen V for Vendetta?
I have seen V for Vendetta. I've seen V for Vendetta. Solid movie. Shit actor.
No.
Let me show my lack of emotion even more.
He was fine.
Nah.
I think this new Star Wars film's looking great, man. I'm very interested to see what's happening.
Oh, hype central. I mean, and
Okay.
I think that's where it's. I mean, it was always going to have hype. It's a freaking Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah,
But as far as
that.
the hype isn't as unjustified as the episode 1, 2, and 3 ones were.
I don't know what movies you're on about. Those movies don't exist to me.
Control point. The rebels are
You know, I was
Sorry.
growing up. I watched those movies. I was like, yeah, these are fun. I love Jar Jar Binks. It's fucking hilarious. And then I grew up. I was like, yeah, I should rewatch those movies. I went back and like this Jar Jar guy. No, this Jar Jar guy. So annoying.
Yes. I'll agree with that. Jar Jar was one of the worst characters they ever brought into the franchise.
I thought he was fine at the time, but that's because I was a little kid and he was, you know, cute characters. Let's go.
about to take control point.
Yeah. He's a Sith Lord.
No, that he, or not that he was a Sith Lord, but that he assisted Emperor Palpatine and he pretended to be stupid to get on their good side.
Yeah. It goes that theory goes further to assume that he's a Sith Lord.
Wow. Conspiracy
Yeah, I think it'd
theorists.
I know. I don't think that one's true, but some of the other ones. There was a really good video. I don't remember if it was IGN or Games, one of those. It was a really good video about some of the.
Oh,
conspiracy theories.
awesome! Frickin' go away, Luke. God.
What did you get?
No, he just spawned like right in front of me. What a
Oh.
douchebag move.
Why not? That's what happens in the real world. Basically, go get fucked.
No, he doesn't just appear. It's like, hey, I'm like Skywalker. But yeah, it's just. Oh, god damn it!
Did you die?
Yeah, frickin' Luke showed up again. Luke's a douchebag.
Yeah. We know.
But like, trying to get back on topic. It's a good game. It's not a great game. Ah, Skywalker, die, you piece of shit.
Nothing else at this time of year, we'd say different. I reckon we'd say, yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, like, don't get me wrong, it is a good game, but there could have been more.
It's no Fallout.
And like,
Can't wait till Game of the Year discussion. I'll tell you what,
It's gonna be interesting.
it's gonna get nasty.
yeah, yours is going to be like something like frickin' Sonic Boom or something, you piece of shit.
Oh, you're right. It won't be that. That's for damn
Shadow
sure.
of Mordor, man. Shadow of Mordor.
Get out.
Hey, Shadow of Mordor was a solid game, it was just too bloody repetitive.
It was. It was a very solid
played a
game.
good
If they do
half
number
an hour
2,
of
it'd be fantastic.
I played
Yeah,
a
that's
good
all you
half
need
an
to
hour
see.
of it. That was enough.
Yeah, that's all you need to see.
Yeah,
I played
because
it.
the rest of the game is pretty much the same. Story's good. I liked the story a lot, but it's basically, hey, kill this orc orc's going to take over this orc's position, now you got to kill this orc. You got to make sure that this one does this thing, or, you know, you need to get this orc on your team so that you can...
Mass genocide of the orcs.
Yeah.
Look,
Well, the mechanics
I am
were very
not
interesting.
I am not a Middle Earth Hitler, okay? Jesus, I'm not going to commit genocide.
I don't mind it. I'll commit genocide. Any game you give me, let's do it. No, it was a solid, very solid game, and after playing that game, I went to play an Assassin's Creed game and just couldn't do it because it just didn't compare. You know, Shadow of Mordor took it to the next level. And I absolutely loved heaps of the mechanics and the gameplay, but you're right, the first 30 minutes or whatever, I played it, and it doesn't really tell you what to do, it just drops you in the world. And then you kind of run around, and then you've done everything.
As much
you're
as...
doing exactly what you're going to do for the next 15 hours. So it's really not a fun experience once you get balls deep in it.
Ooh, I've got a 100% loss rate. I'm doing well.
Well done.
Don't worry, you'll win one eventually.
Um,
I think the problem with it though is that you're on the team.
Possibly.
That could be it.
Could be.
Shut up, you.
For anyone who doesn't know the reference, go watch our Fallout Shelter blooper video. Link in the description.
Double tap. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, if I could, I would, but
I'm sure any man would.
But
Oh, fuck off.
you wanted to be part of this live stream, boy.
Like in saying that, like Shadows of Mordor, like Assassin's Creed, like Fallout as well, they all fall down to one simple thing that every single open world game has, and it's a problem that.
Say something bad about Fallout?
I am.
We're recording this. Go. All right, go. I need this evidence.
Even The Witcher suffered from this.
Whoa!
I would say
Don't say
every.
bad things about the
Radio, are we gonna go on? We've just lost 2 viewers
Like the one.
within 10 seconds.
The one thing. The one thing that all of them have a problem with, and it annoys me, but at the same time I have no idea how they could fix this, is the repetitive gameplay. Every single open world game has this problem, and that's where they do the hey, go this, go there, kill there. You know, there isn't a huge variety, and
Which, hopefully that's something we'll discuss more in Season 2 of our podcast, Lasers, about how the open world and large scale of Next Generation almost effectively kills off gameplay and makes it repetitive.
to a certain extent, they've just.
The Emperor's shuttle was spotted nearby. Be on the lookout.
I haven't come across a thing that allows something different. Like for
What
a
about Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear Solid has the same thing.
Yep.
Like in Fallout, a couple of the Brotherhood. See, Call of Duty is not repetitive because it has a story mode that's linear.
This is true.
The
online
graphics and all of that kind of stuff, yes, they are repetitive, but every single freaking
Stormtroopers in the zone.
every single one has this problem, and that's, you know, even in Fallout has a part where it goes Brotherhood of Steel. A couple of their missions are basically go here, clear out this area, go here, clear out this area, go here, clear out this area, or go here, collect this thing, go here, collect this thing, go here, collect this thing. Every single open world game has this problem. Witcher had the same problem. There was a few things where it was like, hey, you got to go collect this, or hey, kill this monster. It's just a slight variation of the monster you versed before.
I found that The Witcher, though, did a good job of at least disguising that it was the same, because the story would be unique to every side quest. Yes, essentially the gameplay was the same, but it masked that. It kind of provided the player.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's where the problem can be fixed by alternating in the storyline rather than giving us, you know, the same mission over and over and over again for resources. Change it up with the story. Might be, you know, hey, this is, instead of this one, there was actually like in Fallout, there might be a bit where you got to clear out this bit. There's a death claw as one of the bosses, or one of the legendary monsters. They can have that, and then they can be like, the next one is the exact same mission, but have a story behind it, where it's like the one that you versed was only the offspring. Go defeat this one, which is a stronger version of this one, which is the Deathclaw's mother. You know, that would mask it, and it would make it the same, but a little bit fresher. Whereas, you know, a lot of them don't do that.
Yeah.
And I mean,
they don't bother.
When Shogsy turned around and said about Call of Duty being the same, the gameplay is the same. It always has been the same. It's not going to change anytime soon. If it works, don't fix it.
they also do a good job of masking it. Like in Advanced Warfare, you had, you know, I can't remember.
Your jetpacks, your double jumps and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you varied it up at least a little bit. Black Ops 3, you've got wall running. You know, there is that variation. It's the same core gameplay, but at least they mask it.
Yeah, and this is where certain games do fall into that, you know, repetitive category. Unfortunately, a lot of them are open world games, and that's because, you know, if it's open world, you've got to have a lot of things to do. If you don't have a lot of things to do, you're not going to keep that player playing that game. So that means that you have to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of missions available for you to play. Yeah.
Quick question for both of you though. In Fallout, we were speaking of legendary enemies, death claws and the like. Have either of you come across a legendary death claw?
Yes.
I watched a video with one
Multiple
of it,
occasions.
but no,
I've come across two of them. I've come across a glowing death claw. Yes, I've come across a glowing legendary death claw, and I've come across a savage death claw.
Oh, okay.
I got my shit pushed in until I figured out how to break the game. I figured out that if I duck and weave in between two sections, it can't actually hit me as often as it was.
Yeah, you'll find a tight spot to hide in for a second.
No, not just that. Just sitting there and... so let's say it's like a little cave area, right? But the cave area is like a... It's got like a hole that you can basically jump between the walls rather than going through the big section. I figured out that if I weave in between that wall, the Deathclaw will just kind of get stuck on the other wall. AI. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, well, that's an issue with Fallout.
Yes, it is. Oh, a speeder bike. Oh, I have a speeder. Let's fly. Whoa, wow. This, oh, flag. Can I, where's to get, oh, there we go. Oh, hey, hello. Rubber band. Rubber banding. Okay,
yeah,
that's a lot.
I think the broadcast stopped for a second there and
Probably did. I just killed myself on a speed bike. Cool, so you can do that. Yeah, it's what open world games suffer from, and multiplayer games suffer from a similar thing where their gameplay is basically the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're in that stage of the gaming era where things are going to start becoming very, very similar to us.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many games, there's genres that have now been established. You got like not only horror, but now you have established ones like survival horror and all that kind of stuff.
We're getting B-grade movie style games.
Yeah. I mean, you've got like, for example, survival horror. To me, when I hear survival horror, that means I've got fuck all ammo or none, and most of it that comes down to I have to run. You know, or hide. To me, that's what it means: run or hide. When I think of survival horror, I think of like Amnesia, The Evil Within. There's Resident Evil, which is a sad thing to see. But, you know, they're the games that have got like this horror element, like Left 4 Dead. It's done with zombies, all this gore, all that kind of stuff, and then you've got a plethora of ammo, shitloads of enemies that you just gun down with one shot. Dead Rising is another one that comes to mind when I think of like action horror. When I think of war game, like you've got the war genre now has established itself, where you've got like Arma 3, Call of Duty, Battlefield, now Battlefront. It's just all of those kind of things where that's what comes to mind. And then you've got open world. When I think of open world, I think of like The Witcher, Fallout, GTA, all that kind of stuff. So we are going to see similar things. I mean, And then, yeah, Elder Scrolls. We're going to see things like...
Fetch quests.
Yeah, fetch quests. We're going to see... a lot of games that are going to look similar to games beforehand. Like EA just announced that they're making an Assassin's Creed S game. They've got one of the lead designers from the original Assassin's Creed trilogy now writing a game for them. And then you've got like games like Watch Dogs and stuff. Watch Dogs is just basically a carbon copy of, like, a worse copy of GTA. You know, we're always going to have these games that are going to be dominant in their genre. Call of Duty will always have the dominance over any war game.
Until something takes it over.
Yeah, GTA's got the open world in a bag. If you've got like the open world cars and, like, you know, cops robbers kind of thing, GTA is always going to have that kind of style gameplay, and they're going to beat any of them. We've seen it happen before when we had like Watch Dogs. We had, what else was there? Saints Row, yes. Saints Row was basically like a San Andreas when it first came out. Yet San Andreas still won. It was the dominant game. They're the ones who started it. They're the ones who got that player base, and gamers are very loyal to their player base.
Yeah, but, like,
I'm not.
San Andreas is such a massive step forward, though. San Andreas was a big jump, so it's hard to compete against that.
But then you had like Saints Row 2, which had over-the-top stuff, more than what GTA had, yet GTA was still the dominant game.
Be on alert.
I think it's just a solid gameplay.
Yeah, they created they basically created that style of gameplay. They've perfected that style of gameplay, and they're always going to be the one-up on other games.
And saying that, you know, you can have games burst out, like Metal Gear Solid, that was an open world game. Metal Gear Solid 5 comes along, all of a sudden it's an open world game, and it, you know, it may not top the charts for open world games, but it did a bloody good job for especially the first century. It's enough.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's an incomplete game. Don't get me started on that. But
7 years worth of holidays.
But yeah, it's just, we're always going to have that dominant style of game. It doesn't matter what style or what genre we've got, there's always going to be a dominant one of that. And then at the same time, there are some that lose that dominance. Resident Evil used to be well known for its survival gameplay, and now look at it.
Yeah, now it's a sham. A shadow of what it used to be.
Sonic was one of the most dominant platformers, 2D platformers out.
So anyway, how's the game going?
That's gone well. I just won. Woo!
Dude, I was just trying to get you away from the Sonic topic.
No, but like, I was actually praising Sonic at that point. So
I'm going to save it for a discussion.
But like,
I'm going to do.
You look at Sonic, and that was one of the most dominant. It basically rivaled Mario when it came to 2D platformers back in its day, and it lost its mantelpiece.
Yeah, because of shit creative design.
Yeah. Resident Evil suffered the same thing.
For fuck's sake, what was that?
Look at 3D platformers. You had Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was one of the greatest 3D platformers of its time back in the PS1 era. It was fantastic. And then you came across the new style Crash Bandicoot who didn't spin. And people were like, hang on.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Why are you changing that part of him? And it lost its player base.
Yeah, I don't see why Naughty Dog doesn't just do a remaster of that. I mean, you put that on a next-gen console, a compilation of 1, 2, and 3, in high definition, redone textures, redone graphics, and you're going to make absolute dosh.
Yeah, I mean, you look
coming out your ass.
Yeah, and that's purely just on nostalgia. You'll have a lot of money coming in from nostalgia. That's what Battlefront's basically done. Well. Battlefront's basically riding on the nostalgia train.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Choo-choo, motherfucker! Look at us, we've got Battlefront.
Yeah, without anything really good to show.
And it's another trend that I'm seeing in games. Nowadays, I'm seeing a lot of remakes or HD collections. Just don't do the HD collections. Allow us to play our older games. Which,
Not even that. We saw from...
actually, that's it. Alright, I'll let you continue, but I will speak soon, and I'll talk to you about something that just kind of came up today, that's gotten me annoyed.
Well, all I was going to say is we've not only seen, remasters, but we've seen from last generation to this generation games on last-gen consoles that were in high def getting a remaster. Like The Last of Us, I liked the game, I didn't love the game, and they get a remaster. It's a waste of money.
Mind you, the remaster was only a few months apart from the original.
Exactly, that's what's even worse about it. That clearly should have been a next-gen launch title. That would have drawn people to the game, to the console, even more so than PlayStation 4 already has.
Yeah, exactly. Now, on the topic of remasters and backwards compatibility, did you guys see the 100 games that they released for the Xbox One?
I did. I have updated my Xbox One. I'm ready to load Fable 2.
Yeah, which POs me to no freaking end. I'm trying not to use as many swear words as I can, but fuck me. Why the hell is there not a Fable 1 or a Fable 3? Why is it only Fable 2?
Very simple.
Fable 2 was a shit game.
It's
Fable
all
1
about
was...
money. They know that. They've released the shit games on purpose so that the ones that you want, like Red Dead Redemption, one of the most wanted games on Xbox One, they deliberately didn't release so they can remaster and re-release and actually sell you a new game.
But in saying that, they did say any game that's on the 360 that has not been released on the Xbox One as a collection will be available.
Exactly, in some form or another.
Yes.
They didn't say backward compatible. They will remaster these games. The more you want them and the more upset you get about it, the more they will release it as a new remaster and the more they will charge.
You have... Alright, Gears of War was on that list of 100 games that were re-released as backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Why did they do that when they have a collection coming out?
The collection is out, I believe, and it's worth fuck all. It's $30.
Yeah.
That's why, because they're not making their money on that one. They need to kind of make it up from somewhere.
But they've done it that way, right?
Also,
but they did also. They stated that they wouldn't have that because it's been re-released on the Xbox One as a collection. But they've released these backwards compatibility ones, which are the exact same game. There's no fucking point. Yeah, there is no goddamn point of them doing that.
That's just marketing. That's marketing for Gears 4.
It's fucking terrible marketing, and Microsoft should be ashamed of themselves. People
should be ashamed of themselves for the entire Xbox One.
People were looking forward to this so much, and they released fucking arcade games. No one wants the goddamn arcade games. I don't want to sit there and go, oh, I can now play Bejeweled on my Xbox One. Fuck yes. No, I want to sit there and say, I can play my freaking Fable, or I can play my goddamn fucking Tomb Raider, or I can play my fucking Dead Spaces. I don't want to sit there and go, oh, yes, let's connect the Bejeweleds together. Fuckwits.
Well, in saying that, though, there are some good games, like Fallout 3.
Yes, those ones I understand. But
there
why?
Are some good ones.
If you look through that list,
they're trying to pander to a large audience.
Yeah, oh god damn, it's getting me so annoyed. The fucking.
You're not frustrated, are you?
Oh man, I am more frustrated than a choir boy in a church.
I don't know why we're even worrying. Xbox One's a piece of shit.
Well, I agree with you.
I'm the only guy here that owns one.
Yeah, well, I don't know why I bought it. I mean, you know what? I do. So
and they released Halo Wars. Halo Wars was one of the most asked for.
Yeah, but in saying that, the sales they had with the new Halo game were not that great. They weren't what was expected. Yeah, they increased sales, and yeah, it was one of the highest sold ones for October or whatever. But because it has Fallout 4 immediately preceding it, it's not going to sell as much. So they have to try and keep that Fallout hype. Oh, I've never played a Halo series before. Let me go get Halo Wars. Let me go get the Halo collection, and then let me get Halo 5. It's all part of the strategy for new players who haven't played it. It's the same as Uncharted. There was a statement released, and I think Review Tech USA did a great video on this, saying that a lot of PS3 owners never played the Uncharted collection, which is a travesty. And that's why they released the collection in anticipation. It's a marketing tool for Uncharted 4.
It's you'd think that what they would have done to boost the sales of Xbox was release some of the most anticipated backwards compatibility games, or release, some of the biggest ones. So I mean, they did Halo Wars, they did Gears of War, and they did what was another one? There was another big name in there, not Fable. It was a different one. Anyways, they released those, but none others. They didn't do Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead, that still has a massive player base on PC. It's a fantastic game. Anyone who hasn't played that game and has thought about it, I definitely would suggest getting it. It's like $20 on Steam. I would suggest getting it on PC because it's the uncut version, the one that got re-released and turned into the R18.
Yeah.
And it changes, constantly changes. There's no one game, it's point A to point B gameplay, and that's basically all it is. But I've spent well over 250 hours on that game. I used to play that game religiously. And it changes every time you play it. There is no one bit of gameplay that'll be the same. Enemies will spawn in different areas. There's other parts that'll change. It's fantastic for someone who wants a game with so much replayability. But that was one of the games that was one of the most anticipated, or one of the most asked for, and it wasn't released. If they want to boost Xbox sales, because Xbox is lagging behind, they are close to the Wii U sales, and everyone knew that the Wii U did not sell much. If they want to re-release that kind of, and get that kind of player base back from PlayStation, like the people who were so into Xbox 360 and stuff back in the day, and then they've moved over to PlayStation, and now they're like, well, I don't want to get an Xbox now because I don't need to.
They really need to. Yeah.
They should have released some of those high anticipated backwards compatibilities, rather than these arcade games, and then maybe did it in their next load, do the arcade ones. Say this is an arcade patch, or something like that.
They could have actually marketed it like that, we're releasing, 20 AAA games in our first batch of backwards compatibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we're doing an arcade batch of 50 games.
Now you can play all your favourite arcade games on the Xbox One. Rather than bundling them together, they should have done the AAA titles to bring that player base back, and then released the arcade ones for people, the ones that majority of people who own an Xbox will not care about. They've released most of the games that they released on that thing, what I like to call Facebook games. Glorified solitaires, so to speak.
Yeah, it was definitely a marketing flaw, I think. Which, it doesn't surprise me. Xbox has stuffed up quite a lot over the last year or so. I think, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to give backwards compatibility a shot, hopefully tonight, if I don't fall asleep. But we'll see how it goes. I think we should wrap this up in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I reckon so. I was about to say we should cut this off soon. But yeah, so, I just reckon that they could have done that so much better, and they would have gotten a lot more people back to play those, because people would have been like, well, now I'll buy my Xbox because 90% of my games now have I can now play them on it. Because now, at the moment, from what I've seen on mine, I'm like, well, there's no point in me getting an Xbox One, because all the games that I own, bar 2 are not available still.
Yeah.
So
that was a big thing for me to get the PS4. Because I was talking to you guys and asking, okay, what should I get? What's the representing the Xbox One and PS4? And they're like, well, there's no back.
We're taking hold.
well, funnily enough, I mean, I'm a PS fanboy. I've always been a PS fanboy since PS1. I had a PlayStation over Nintendo 64 first, and all that kind of stuff. I did have both, but I had a PlayStation beforehand, and I played my PlayStation far more than my Nintendo. My Nintendo's 64's joysticks are still in pristine condition, and anyone who has a 64 knows how quickly those things broke. But like,
hang on, 64 broke?
no, not the console, the controller. You know the little joystick? How it used to go so loose that you could only like do a slow walk eventually?
I've had mine for 18 years.
Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong.
I haven't had a problem.
The 64's console.
My 5 controllers.
The 60. If you played Mario Party, you would have destroyed at least one.
No, I've got Mario Party.
He had bruises from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, the console itself was like a Nokia phone. You could throw that thing and it'd still work. But
I've done.
You know, Nintendo's fallen off the bat, but at the same time, they're still trying new things. They're the only ones that are trying new things.
Yeah,
they're the ones.
They're the only company that will experiment.
Yeah, they're the ones who aren't playing it safe. Then they're trying new things, but like, Xbox and PlayStation are very similar, and I still can't find myself to buy an Xbox, even like in EB and stuff like that, because they're so similar now. Like, they're basically got the same chipsets, everything like that. Even if you go into like games retailers and stuff like that, and you ask them what's the better option for me, they will basically ask you, do you like to play Halo? And if you don't say yes, and you say what's a Halo, or no, not really, they'll tell you to buy a PlayStation. You're better off buying a PlayStation.
Unless you talk to that one EB guy. Oh, sorry.
Who's an Xbox
that
fan?
One retail assistant. Who was it? Oh my god, he was an Xbox fanboy. Oh, it outspecs the PS4, outperforms it. I was like, what kind of dick have you been sucking? Who paid you to say that? It's a piece of crap. It doesn't even open up YouTube without lag.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, seriously.
Wow.
It stutters like a motherfucker.
Each have their own problems. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna throw
for sure.
Xbox completely out and say nah, it's fucking terrible.
No, I think it's definitely got its merits.
It's got to work out its bugs, and it still hasn't worked out those bugs so many years down the track.
Emperor has arrived.
Yeah, and now tonight, or in this week, they update the console home screen and everything. So now, once I didn't know where anything was, and I still don't.
Yes,
and then they go and
the new
change it,
dashboard.
and I still don't know where anything is.
Yeah, it's just, at least with the old dashboard, you kind of familiarise yourself with it because of the Windows. Windows 8.1 was a very similar dashboard, and they did that intentionally. Now they've gone for a completely different dashboard, and it intentionally again, and it's just, I can't find anything now.
Yeah, it's like that. I'm not a console fanboy. I will say that. I waited a while to get my Wii U. I waited a while to get my PlayStation 4. I waited a while to get my Xbox One. This is the first time I've had all three in a generation, so it's quite exciting. But if you have a better product, it's the same as I work at a particular retailer. If another company does something better than my retailer, I will jump ship. I am not brand loyal in any way, shape or form. I find that if something outstrips something else, you should do it. If it's better value, you should do it. It's never about... I don't have any loyalty to Sony. I just prefer their console over Xbox One.
Yeah.
Xbox One still has its merits. I think it absolutely has merits. I constantly, non-stop use the media center on it. It's fantastic. PlayStation really needs to work on that. It's
I mean,
simple.
the fact that it plays like, what were they called?
MKVs and...
That's it. That's the one I was thinking of. The MKVs and all that stuff. For as a general home entertainment system, the Xbox outdoes PS4.
Absolutely.
But as a core gaming device, yeah, and that's what they marketed as originally. So if you look at it that way, they have done exactly what they said they would, and they turned it into a media device rather than a gaming device. But
That's a big difference.
But if you look at it as a gaming device, because people when they hear Xbox, they don't look at it as a media device. They look at it as a gaming console.
Yeah.
I don't sit there and go, yes, I'm going to go buy myself an Xbox so that I can watch TV.
No.
That's not what I bought. That's not what I would buy one for. So if you look at it as a gaming, as a gaming device, just as a gaming device, the PlayStation outdoes it, because the PlayStation focus more on their gaming. And like their slogan is this, and they said this is for the gamers.
Yeah, this is for the players.
And it basically comes down to nowadays is what kind of games do you prefer playing? If you prefer to play Uncharted, Infamous, I mean the reason why I bought the PlayStation originally, the PS4 over the Xbox One was because I love Infamous, and Second Son was coming out.
I did the same for Uncharted.
Yep. And that was the reason why I bought it. So it wasn't because I was a fanboy or anything like that. I was basically at the point with these new gen consoles where I was like, well, what do I like to play? And what games do I like to play? Because I was a PlayStation fanboy, and because I still am, I enjoyed a lot more PlayStation games. So it didn't bother me.
For me, I bought the Xbox One for the exclusives, basically.
Yeah.
I will probably never get a third-party game on an Xbox One, but definitely I'll buy the exclusives. I'm looking forward to Cuphead, Scalebound, Gears 4, the Gears collection, Halo collection, Halo 5. I still haven't dipped my toe into any of those, but I'm really looking forward to the exclusives on Xbox One, and actually seeing how well the Xbox does first-party titles, because we all know that companies look after first-party titles a lot more. I mean, you look at Nintendo, their entire business is about first-party titles.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what it purely comes down to. If anyone hasn't bought a new gen console, look at it that way. Don't look at it as a fanboy, and don't make that mistake. Look at it as to what games you like to play. If you like Halo, get yourself an Xbox One. If you like Infamous, Uncharted, any of those kind of things, get yourself a PlayStation. And that's what it'll come down to. If you like Mario and you love Mario, get yourself a Wii U. Also get yourself a PlayStation or an Xbox, because there's not enough games or first parties and everything like that for the Wii U. But if you're looking at a new gen console, get it that way. That's the best way to think of it. Don't look at it as a fanboy, and you can't look at it as a fanboy anymore.
In saying that, I think it is time to close out this live stream.
Yep, we'll finish it up.
I've been D0ubleT4p.
I'm Joker23.
JimmyD.
Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share it with your friends on Facebook.
Check out some of our other videos.
Yep, check out the other videos. Share it with your friends on Facebook, and let us know what you want to see next.